Today I'm going to share with you a Halloween shooting pumpkin game. Okay, so pretty much the way to play is that you hit the play and then you use right arrow and left arrow. You can move around the target and press space key. You can shoot. Okay, so if you hit the pumpkin, you will get one score. If you hit the farmer, it's game over. So let's start. Oh, okay. Okay, so we hit star. So remember just to hit the pumpkin, don't hit the farmer. Okay, so, and we have 1 minute countdown. Okay, so let's go here. Space key, space, space, space. Ooh. Don't hit the farmer. I think the speed is still pretty good. Right? Okay, so that's Okay. Got to be careful. Okay, only one left. Okay, you win. Score 12, and you can hit play again and play again. Okay, and if you accidentally hit the farmer, what will you do? Okay, so let's see. If you hit the farmer, right? Okay, game over. And this is your total score. Okay, so let's see how I construct it. First, what I will do is, because before in our previous lesson, I've already told you how to create a canvas and put the fonts and put, like all the image, all the text over here. So now, if you get the access, go back to our X-Reality Academy membership, and if you can dive into the hub, I put the link for you to download all the asset there. So you can pretty much get all the prefab there. And right now, I will create an entire scene and then drag and drop the prefabs that I had inside the hub. So if you want to, create your own asset, it's totally all good. And today, my focus will be teaching you the C# coding and make your assets more interactable. Okay, so let's start. So if you see the way that I construct the entire scene, you can see that pretty much I have a camera, right? Camera is that, every scene, every game needs to have at least one camera. At least means that you can have more than two, so you can cut, right? You can, cut this scene, cut that scene, right? So at least you need to have one, and that one in VR space, it's usually referring to the VR player. So I would say that main camera is very important. And the interesting thing about today's camera is that, remember, we are going to make it orthographic. Why? Because if you see our game, it's pretty much 2D, right? So in order for our game to function properly, we have to make it orthographics. If we make it perspective, then, the shoot will not be, will definitely kind of like outside of the perspective. So that's why I think it's very important that make our camera orthographic. So when we do the shooting, it's kind of like, whatever you see, it's whatever you get instead of the perspective. Because perspective, there are some certain angles. And when you move and shoot, it's pretty much you thought you are going to shoot here, but because of perspective, it shoots somewhere else. So you have to add the angle back. So what I would suggest you is, since we are doing more like a 2D game, and we need to make the camera more orthographics. Okay, so this is kind of like the first thing you need to change. Make the main camera go here, projection, go to orthographics. Okay, so this is the first one. Second one, it's a default, so you got the directional light. Backdrop, okay, so if, let's hide this first one. Okay, so backdrop, what's backdrop? So if you can see this is the entire scene. Yeah, again, the prefab, I can kind of, probably later I can show you a little bit how to construct the scene, but now let's focus on more like coding and interactive, like the logic encoding. Okay, so the backdrop pretty much is here, right? So pretty much I create a quad or a plane, right? I probably create a plane. Okay, so you go here and create a plane, right? And then make it 90, right? Okay, so make it 90, right? And then you can start putting the texture here. So this is how it works. Or you can always create a material and apply it to material. So here are some stuff that I create. Yeah, so pretty much you go here, right? And you can have the backdrop here, and then you can have material, right? So I have materials, right? Halloween, right? So it's this one, right? And if I change to here, it will be more less red, or I can add more red. I think red looks very cool. Okay, so let's add some red. So yeah, so this one, and on top of it, I put a scoring system here. Scoring system, pretty much you create a canvas, right? And you put timer, score, and number. I separate the score, right, and the number, like in a different stream, like different text. Why? Because number can be changed, and the score is a static text. So I want like this, the timer, the entire timer will be changed, and the number will be changed. Only the score is static, so I want to separate those. Okay, so this is the entire canvas called score canvas. And as for the environment, I made a stage. Yeah, I just think that this is very weird if it just kind of move around, but you can totally do, yeah, you can enlarge it. It's all good. Okay, so this environment, let's break it down to see what's inside. Okay, so pretty much I make it back row and front row, right? How to make back row and front row. So first you create an empty, right? Pretty much imagine like the game object empty. For me, it's like a folder, right? So what I usually do is I will rename this, right? For example, like a back, right? And then I start putting things under it. I click this, and I click this, right click, and what I usually do is to create a quad. So you can create a quad, right? So this will be, everything will be here. In my file, I make it 3. So yeah, so you can take a look. Yeah. So this is the quad. Yeah, and quad, right? And you can pretty much duplicate the quad, right? You can create this, right? And you can create next one, right? So first one, second one, third one, right? So you can kind of like make something like this, right? And then the interesting thing is that you can totally, put the materials on top of it. So for example, like this, right? You can totally make your own customized stuff. And if you don't like this color, you can go here and change the color, right? So yeah, so it is very, I would say, customizable. So okay, so this is how I manage the quad. So pretty much create an empty, and then place each quad under it, and then make it a line, right? And kind of group it, right? Because it's under here, right? So for example, if I move around this one, everything will be grouped. So you can definitely use, the empty object and start, creating, grouping it, and then, then later on we will apply a movable script, which kind of constantly move left and right. So add some difficulty levels for the game, right? Okay, so now we know this is the parent, this is the child, right? But since we have like different layers, right? So this is just like a high level, I would say high level talk about how to construct this entire stuff. So you see, like there's quad, right? So if I close quad, yeah, and everything will be done. And back is the high level parent, right? So yeah, I just kind of like show you how I construct the two lines by giving you like a small like little tutorials. So later on, once you learn how to do it, you can construct an entire scene, and later on maybe you don't need 2, right? You can have 5, 6, 7 rows and add the difficulties, and let your player trying to hit all the pumpkins so they can win the game. Okay, so this is the back row, this is the quad, and what I will do is create another empty, right? Empty quad. Okay, so another one will be pumpkin. What I will do is that I will separate all the pumpkins and farmers into different parent, like empty object. Why? Because farmers and pumpkins, they act differently. Pumpkins will be adding point, right? Farmers, you will die. So you don't want to miss them because their reaction or the interaction are different. So farmers, what I would do is, you see like farmers, right? Usually I would like to reset to here, right? So let's just make it simple. Okay, so farmers, what I would do is to make another quad. We can go here and make another quad, right? And what I will do is farmer, right? Okay, so farmer, right? And I like to make it 3, 3 just to keep it consistent. Yeah, okay, so yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so this is the farmer quad, right? So that's just make one, and later on you can duplicate and make it as long as you like. Okay, so farmer, right? And farmer, I've already made like an art for you, so you can just go directly apply to it. Okay, that's fine. Farmer, yeah, you can just apply to it. So this is the farmer, right? And pumpkin, you can just like this, duplicate, Control D, and then put under pumpkin and change the name to pumpkin and change the graphics. Okay, pumpkin. Oof. Pumpkin. Okay, pumpkin, right? So pumpkin and pumpkin need pumpkin, right? Ooh. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah, okay. So you can see like pumpkin and farmers. The thing about it is that you can pretty much, put the tag. If you see my code, okay, so you go back to see my code. Okay, so heat transform.tag pumpkin. So I have to make the tag. It means that if the ray cast hits, means the target. If the target hits the pumpkin, then you will get 1 point. If the pumpkin, if the target ray hits the farmer, you will die. So pretty much those two are totally different stuff, and we need to make sure that the ray understand what the object it hits. So for the farmer, we make a tag, right? Farmers, right? You don't really need the layer, but you need to tag farmers. Pumpkin, you can have pumpkin layers, right? So how to create a tag? You go to add tag, right? You can add maybe testing. Yeah, it's just like something that is new. So okay, so let's see the pumpkin farmers testing, right? I mean, you can and you can delete it, right? So okay, so let's go back. So remember when you are doing the assets, you can, tag farmers, tag pumpkins, right? And since everything is under this bag, yeah, like the parent of bag, so you can pretty much, drag left and right? So it will follow it as long as we if we can attach a script and then move the move the entire thing, then it will move accordingly. So I find out this is a very interesting way of creating a move, kind of like swaying code. Okay, so now you know how to do it, right? And then I create a giant environment because sometimes it's just like it's easy to organize this way. And back row, you see back row, right? I create a big giant empty and it's called back row. And once I create this back row, you see this entire thing is the back row, right? And I have quads, right? Quads. I put them into different colors. Pumpkin. I group them. If you see here, those are all pumpkins, right? If I hide it, if you hide the parents, the child under it will be hidden as well. And farmers, if you hide it, I hide the big group, I hide the parents, so under it the child will be hide. And I duplicate, right? And I move around the position, so you can take a look, right? Okay, so this is kind of like the interesting way of setting up. So now you know how to set up the roles, right? And then how, like, you might want to ask, like, how can we sway from left to right? Okay, let me show you how to do it. Ooh, okay, it's from this code. This code is oscillate. Okay, so oscillate code. So first we have the distance, how far we want to sway, right? How far we want to sway. Okay, and then sway. And this is like how fast. Sway. So we need to float, right? And this one is the initial position, but actually we didn't really use this. So this one we can hide it. It's fine. Oh, okay. So it seems like we need to define it first. Okay, so start. So we want the initial position equals transform position. Why I use transform dot position? Because we are going to attach this oscillates to the front row and back row. So if you see here, oscillates here, right? And I
put the speed and distance in different numbers. So that's why you can see that because it's different numbers, so they sway in a different rate. So if imagine if it's sway in the same rate, it will be much boring, right? So we are doing this. This is the quad under, this is the pumpkin, this is the farmer. So it's all under back row. And the front row, this is farmer, this is pumpkin, and this is quad. So yeah, so those two will swing in different rates and different speed. Okay, so this is the starting position, which means that the initial position equals the transformed position. Transformed position will be the object, right? The game object that we attached here. So the front row, the entire front row here will be swaying, right? And this one, we have the same script, but we can change the numbers. First one is distance is 8, speed is 2. The second one is distance is 6, and speed is 3. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see the update one. This is an interesting way of doing things. Okay, so you see transform the position, right? This is this means the the row, right? The entire row. This entire row, right? The position equals initial position, means the original position plus this one. Okay, why we use sign? Because sign is between -1 to 1, right? So we use this one, right? And this one we put time divided by the speed. We all know that time is that it will increasing, right? Once we kind of like divide it by the speed, it will have by doing this, right? This will be totally under somewhere between -1 to 1. So this -1 to 1, and according to it's like the rate, right? So -1 to 1 multiplied by the distance. So because we are only focusing on the x, and the y and z we didn't change. We can also change y and z, but right now for this game we only do the left swinging. We didn't do the vertical one. So pretty much this means that this will between -1 to 1 and has its own different speed, and also here, if you change the speed rate, it will change differently, but pretty much because of the sign, we control it between -1 to 1, and then we plus the distance, right? And then so it will kind of keep between the minus distance to positive distance. So for example, the first one we did 6, right? So it will between -6 to 6. And plus, so this is the x, 0, 0. So we want the original position plus the new position. So this will be the really new position, like the most recent position. Okay. So let's see how it works. Okay, so you can see right, it just keep left and right, and I don't know why this is looking very weird. I think this is fine. Cool. So this is how it works. Okay, so now we have the basic setup, right? So let me hide it. Okay,
So let's go to the target. The entire game pretty much is that I enable this. Okay, so when you hit play, right? So when I hit the start game, okay, so here, right? And I put a lot of elements, and this one is the button elements. So when I click this one, it will go here, right? So this means that this entire canvas, on click event, this entire canvas, start canvas, I drag this here and set active, right? Set active. I make it false. You see, this is false. So later on, this entire, after click the start button, this canvas will be disappear. And the second one is that I want, because I attach the target script here. Later on, I will show you what's target script. Yeah, maybe I can walk through the target script so you have more understanding about why I attach here. And inside target, I have a game start function which start the entire game and do everything. So yeah, if you take a look, if I hit the star means that the clock will start running, and then when you shoot, the score will change. Okay, so you see the time is counting down, right? And then you hit here, hit left arrow, right arrow, up and down, and hit the space, right? I think I kind of ooh, okay, so be careful. Yeah, come on. Yes, I win. Okay, so yeah, and when you hit the button, you go back to restart the game. Okay, so this is the entire logic, right? So what I will show you is how to create the target. The target, pretty much I make it something similar to Game Manager, but combined with the target. And time is only focusing on the time. So yeah, so later on I will kind of like step by step to show you how to create timers, countdown timers, and the target. Okay, so let's create another scene. Target. Let's start with target. Okay, target 2. So target means that this target will be, I would say, something similar to Game Manager, and then it will make those run very smoothly and connect every scenes inside this game. So this target will play the role of Game Manager. Okay, so let's take a look. So first, since we are going to use the Text Mesh Pro, so TM Pro, Text Mesh Pro, because here, right? If you see those are Text Mesh Pro, yeah, TMP, right? So those are. The reason why I use Text Mesh Pro is because the normal text, it will show the kind of like pixelate. So Text Mesh Pro will show the more like crispy edge. It will look less pixelate. And the second one, what I will do is to do the Unity engine. Yeah, it's already here. So I think The only thing you need to do is those two. Okay, so let's start to have some, some variables. So first one, all you need is public vector 3, target pose. So yeah, so where will this script being attached? It will be attached to the target. Okay, so if you go here, probably need to hide this so you can see more. Okay, I hide this. So once you click the button and the front layer was disappear, and then you go to target, right? This target has everything, right? And then also the numbers. I kind of put 3 different variables. So what if you win, then there's a kind of like a text mesh pro correlate to that and update the current score. So this is kind of like I would say the entire essential of the game is in this script. So this script pretty much connect the whole entire game. Okay, so let's see the target pose. And the second one is the speed. Okay, float speed. Yeah, okay. Then private vector target center and target direct. I would say probably you don't really need the target center, but it's fine. Private vector 3 target center. Okay, so this is the kind of like, I mean, because this position, if you see this position, this transform position is already on the center, so you probably don't really need this. You see, like it's already center, so you don't really need a target center, but it's fine. It's just like the center of the target, right? Okay, so let's see. You can have a private vector 3 target direct. Another one will be public game object target. Which is the, that quad. Okay, so public vector camera pose. So I would say this one probably we don't really need it. So yeah, so it's fine. We can just put here. But later on, those code was more like I explore. But later on, if it is not being used, it's still fine. It's just leave there. Okay, so in public bool. So we need to kind of define the original game star is false. Why? Because if it is true, it just start, running countdown. The reason why I do this extra step is because every time when I hit the star, if I hit a little slower, when I jump into a game, it's just like 40, 44, like countdown, not really from the top 60 minutes. So I have to pause the game until I hit the star to make sure it's 60 minutes. So so game start, we need to kind of make the game start false at the beginning. Then let's see, public game object. Oh, so this is the canvas. Game over. Okay, public game object. Game win. So we have the first one called, game star canvas. That game star canvas, it will appear every time when the game start, right? And then it will disappear every time when you click the start game button. So this can be used for the button event. So yeah, so that will be covered by button event. Then, but we still need to have the game over and game win to canvas here. So let's see the score. Text Mesh Pro GUI. Score number. Yeah. So since we have 3 places to display the the score, then we need 3 places. And another one, we need to get the timer, countdown timer. Public timer. Right? Okay, so those are the kind of like the entire. Okay, so we still need another one which holds the score in the game. Okay, so during the start, first we want to set the game start as false. Because we don't want the game just immediately start, but when we hit the game start function, then it will trigger it. So we want to have some default at the beginning, so it's false. And we want the score to be 0. Then we want to keep it update, right? So for example, if I keep pressing the space, then its target, the function, will start hitting. So let me give you this the reset the game first. Okay, so this is the starting function, and the update is that if the game start and input the get key down. Okay, so input the get key down means that I want to get the keyboard space key. So this is the code. Input the get key down space the string. And then I will code is target hit this function. Okay, so this function, you see it's red, right? So it means that we haven't defined it. Okay, so let's start define this function. Okay, so this function, we want to make it public, right? Void is target hit. Okay, so the first one, since you hit it, right? So game star equals true. We want to, this is starting, right? So yeah, I mean, pretty much when you put the starting game, it's already says true. So I mean, this probably doesn't really. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, so first we have to make the center equals the position. Target center equals target transform the position. And then the second one is we need to define the direction because we need to shoot a ray. Target transform the forward. It means that for the local position for this,
this is always the forward for the entire object, right? So this is the center of the target position. Okay, so if you want to see the target, right? This is target. This one. You see, actually the center of it, because we want to shoot a ray, right? And this will shoot a ray. And the center of it is where we shoot it. Let's get back. Okay, cool. So the second one is, where are we going to shoot the ray? Okay, so and then we need to create a ray cast hit called hit. Yeah, we need to kind of create so ray cast hit called hit, and then debug draw ray. Okay, so pretty much because before I was trying to debug stuff, so I did the debug stuff to draw a ray. Debug draw ray. You need to have a start point, which is target center. This is from the starting point and to the direction. Target direction. And then you need to shoot something, and that ray cast is called hit. Out, hit, right? Okay. Target direction. Okay, so yeah, I want to make it a little. Sorry. 10. Yeah. I want to make it like different colors. Maybe make it. Yeah, this one. Okay, so it's just a testing. So if the ray shoots this, that means we are successful. Okay, so let's create another target. Right, okay, so this is this target. Right, so if I duplicate testing target, so this is a testing target, and let's detach this and then attach target 2 again. Let's kind of hide it. Okay, so this is the target test, right? So let's see how this will work. Okay, so if, let's see, okay, so game over, game win, 1, 2, 3. We didn't really put anything, but the thing we want to test is that whether okay, so yeah, so if we kind of move around and whether hit the space, we want to see whether through the center there's a pink red shooting out. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to put the game object. Okay,
so let's do this. Target, okay, game object. So put here speed, maybe 10, right? Yeah, game start. Do you see? Testing. Game start. Okay. It's fine. Color, right? So this, if I press game start, oh yeah, game start is false. So if I make, let's do this. So this might work. Okay, so I make the game start equals true. Okay. Oh, did you see there's a line here, right? A pink line here, right? Did you see it? Okay. If I can make it a little, I don't know, visible, maybe white or what color? And then how to draw a ray and make it more. Let me Google it. How can I draw thicker ray in Unity? Make the ray cast thicker. Okay. Thickness. Thickness. I probably need to add somewhere here. Okay, so thickness 5. Can I make thickness? That testing color starting. Color direction, duration. Maybe duration. I want to make it 5 seconds. This is color. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but you can see there's a ray shooting, right? A magenta. Okay, so the goal is to press the space button and yeah, something shooting out, right? You can see. Now it becomes green. Let me see why it becomes green. Oh, yeah. See, maybe red. Okay. So you can see clearly. Yeah, debug, draw ray. So we, below. Okay, so when I hit the center, right, you can see there's a ray here. I just keep pressing very fast. Yeah, so the ray is shooting, right? So this ray, the goal is to, for example, if this ray hit the pumpkin, because we've already tagged this quad, like the pumpkin quad, we name it pumpkin. So if this ray hit the pumpkin, it will add score to the score number. If this ray hit the farmer, then the entire game finished. Yeah, so you lose the game. Okay, so how to do this? Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, So we have a red, right? And then we need to check out if the raycast hit a tag called pumpkin, right? So check out if the raycast hit a tag called pumpkin. Okay, so if physics raycast, if the physics raycast, let's start with the origin. What's the origin, right? Target, center. The second one is direction, so target, direction. And the third one will be that ray out, hit, right? Okay, if this is hit, right? If we shoot out this ray, right? This ray, we kind of debug it and make it color red, right? If this ray shoot out, and it means that the space button hit, and the hit transform.tag equals pumpkin. Equals pumpkin, right? If those two meets, then that's make a score, right? We want to increase the score, and we want to destroy the pumpkin. Yeah, so you can, let's take a look whether we hit the pumpkin or not. Hit pumpkin. Okay, pump. Okay, hit pumpkin. Okay, so this means that we are shooting out a ray, right? If this ray shooting out hits an object has a tag called pumpkin, then we start adding score, right? And we destroy whatever we hit, right? So score, let's add another public score. In between. Public void score. Public void score. Okay, cool. So score, we want to add one, right? And score is here, right? Public in score. Oh. Score, right? And then we want to update 3. Later on, we will have 3 different variables. One is the game number, the test score, 2 string. Yeah. So we want to, update the score. So this is the first one, which is on the current game canvas, and the second one will be the either game win or game lose, and the third one, 2. Yeah, it's another one. Oh, score. I think I already. Oh, wait. Why is 3? It's 2. Okay, so 1, 2, right? Yeah, and then because we totally only have 12 pumpkins. So if you hit the highest score, which is the total number of pumpkins, then you win.
so this is kind of the logic. Okay, so game win. Yeah, we have to make sure there's no red, so later on we don't have to debug. Okay, so game win. What's game win mean? Game win means that something will pop up, right? So public void game win, right? Game start equals false. Game win set active equals true. Means that that canvas will show up. Okay, so right now we have a lot of stuff to implement, right? So let's see this one, this target. This target is made of a quad, and then I export a texture on top of it. So this is kind of you see, it's just a quad, same quad. Okay, so this one, yeah, since we've already attached it, game over, right? We have the game over canvas, so all we need to do is to slot in the game over canvas, and then game win. We need the game win canvas. Yeah, if you need any help of setting up the UI, feel free to watch our previous tutorials. There were a lot of ways to do it, and if you still don't know, maybe later on Q&A session I can help you. Yeah, and score number, the first one will be on our canvas, right? So the score canvas, so this is the first number. The second number will be the game over, because we want to inform the user, the player, every time when the game finishes, like what's your score, right? So this will be the first one, and it will update simultaneously. And then let's see another one, game win. Okay, so those two pretty much just, the difference is that you win, you lose, or game over. Yeah, so that's the only difference, but it should convey the same idea. So I use the target, right? The target I just create, and then I will put the game win. Ooh. Number one, number two. Oh, okay. So number two, this will be number one, and score number. Oh shit. Okay. Number this one, the third one. Yeah, timer. I attach the timer here. This timer is, hold on a sec, I will show you how to do the timer later. Yeah, so I've already created a timer, right, and it will count down. So I attach the timer to the target. Okay, so that's safe, and start playing. Okay, maybe I need to. This is the. Okay, yeah. So let's do this first. So you see, when I click that, yeah, and the score will going down, right? Yeah, and the timer I will do it later. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that when we hit that the pumpkin, right? According to our code, I haven't done the farmer one, but if the center shooting the ray hit the pumpkin, the object named pumpkin, it will increase the score, destroy the game object. and debug hit pumpkin. Let's see. Yeah, you see debug hit pumpkins, right? So yeah, so this one will definitely work. And then later on, what I'm going to do is to create destroy the farmers. If you accidentally hit the farmers, what's the consequence? It means that you will trigger the game over scene, right? So this is the game over. So it's pretty much the same except the farmer. Okay, farmers. I don't know why I add as for the tag, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we will trigger the game over scene, right? Game over scene. Okay, game over scene, and we will destroy whatever object, and we will say hit farmers. Okay, cool. Game over, right? Over. Okay, game over. Then we have one game win, right? And later we will have another game over. Okay, pretty much game over is we have false, right? And then game over. Game over. Oh wow. Yeah, so this panel will show up, right? So we have game over and yeah. Then we need another update. Why? Because we want to move around the target, right? So void fix. Yeah, fix update. I mean, you can use update or fix update. It's all good. Okay, cool. It just more update more constantly, or like if there's a physics working around, you can definitely use this. Those are the previous code that I wrote. So let's copy and paste, and then let me share with you what's this. Okay, first it means that let's get access row horizontal. Means that left arrow or right arrow, right? When I press left arrow, it's minus, right? When I press the right arrow, it's pretty much it's the positive. So I need to see like the axis. This is the horizontal one, and up and down we need to get the vertical one. Target pose, what does it mean? Target pose, let's go back. It's a vector 3, right? So we want to get the target position, right? So this is target position means that move horizontal and move vertical, right? This vector 3 will be the target position. And target move means that we want target position X and target position Y. It will be the new target move. So those two will be multiply speed and time dot delta time. So this position will keep constantly update. So yeah, so you kind of like this plus the next frame, right? And equals the current one. So yeah, and I was trying to clamp, but I didn't really clamp well. So maybe next time I will figure it out how to clamp stuff. But this time there's no clamping. Yeah, so those two didn't happen, right? So, but this code pretty much show you how to move around things. Okay, so let's take a look. So if you click, okay, so left, right, and up and down. Up arrow, down arrow. Okay, so let's hit, right? So you can see if I accidentally hit the farmer, okay, yeah, we go to the game over, right? Okay, so this is kind of the entire game. Okay, you might want to ask how to make the countdown timer. Okay, so let's create another script called timer2 and later on we will attach to another timer number so you can see the entire process. Where's the timer? Okay, great. Okay, so this is the timer. Okay, so this is the timer. The timer, we want the time value, the integer is 60 seconds. So pretty much all I need to do is to kind of set the time value equals 60. That's 1 minute equals 60 seconds, right? So, and later on I want to get a text mesh pro GIF. Text mesh pro. Text mesh pro and time text. And then I need to make sure whether the time is running is true. But I mean, it should be fine. We don't really need to define it. But if you kind of want to make it more specific, or maybe in the future you want to redefine something and make it more complicated, interaction, you can go here, time false, right? And then public target. Okay, so this is the script. I want to call the script from target. Okay, so start, I would say time running is true. I like to make things false first and then make it true just so I can reset. Time value equals 0. Okay, where's time value? Oh. Okay. Target game start. I probably will make it 60 because the original reset was 60. Okay, so let's see the updates. Okay, so we need to make sure that the game start is false. If it is not starting, then we need to kind of display it forever 60. Why? Because we need to hold it. If the game is not starting and the countdown is starting to run down, then when you start a game, it's just like 10 seconds, right? So at the beginning, if the game is not starting, then please don't count down. So we need to make it false, right? By making it false, you put an exclamation mark in the front. So if this is true, right, and this is false, right? False and false equals true. So this means that we want to make if it detects the game start is the game is not starting, then we need to have time value equals 60. Oh, yeah, I think maybe I just make time value the capital, so okay. Okay, so at the beginning, if the game is not starting, so don't count down my timer. That's it. Okay, so and then else, right? Of. Okay, so if let's have another if the game starts, right? Target dot game start. If the game start is true, the game start is here. This, right, is the game start here, right? We kind of use the game star. Where's the game star? There's no game star. Oh, we need to write another game star. Okay. The game star. Okay, so game star is here. Public void game star. If the game star, I like to reset stuff because score, right? Score equals 0, and then score number dot text. Oh, we want this because you just start the game, right? And then to string 0, and game star equals false, right? Game star equals false. Oh, I like to reset it, so I make game star false first, and then later on I make it true. Timer time value. Yeah, I like to reset everything first. Game star. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is the game star. So this is target, which means this. I would say target v2. Yeah. So because we are taking this, time v2 because target v2. Sorry, target v2, timer v2. Okay. So if the game start is true, right? We hit the starting button and game start trigger become true. And if time value larger than 0. Okay. If time value larger than 0, then time value minus equal time dot delta time. Okay, so this is the first one, and second one is else, right? Else. Okay, so time has ran out. Time has run out. Okay, whatever. Time value equals 0. Yeah, so it means that if it is larger than 0, then keep counting down. But if this is equal or smaller than 0, then we want to reset time value equals 0. We don't want to go even lower, right? We don't want time become minus. So, and then we want to make timer is rounding false. So once time is out, then we don't wanna do it again and display time value. This will be 0, right? So we always want to display the time. Display time. Ooh. Time value. Okay. Display time value. Display on the display time value, let's see.
Let's create another function called display time. Since we are not going to get this function outside of the script, we can just make it display time. Float time to display. If time to display minus kind of like smaller than 0, then we want to time to display equals 0. We don't want any minus stuff, right? So yeah, so this is kind of the row time to display equals 0. Okay, great. Okay, then float minutes. Okay, so we want to kind of everything divided by 60, and then we can get the minutes, and once everything kind of subtract the 60, everything will become the seconds, because because it's just much easier to see, right? 5 minutes. Okay, float minute, math f floor to int. Time to display divided by 60. So this is how many minutes? Is, for example, if there are 90, right? So 90 divided by 60 will be 1, and the remaining will be 30. So 1 minute, 30 seconds, right? So example, I know this is a little confusing, but if the time is 90 seconds and you divide 60, so 1, so if the number will be 1, right? You divide it, 90 divided by 60, the entire number is 1, right? And 30 will be the seconds, so 1 minute, 30 seconds, right? So that's, see the seconds. This will be the remaining, right? 90 minus 60, right? And you will remain 30, so 30 seconds, right? So yeah, and then time text dot text equals string format, right? And then 0, yeah, so we want the format like this. The first one, the format will be in the front. The second one, the format will be at the end, and then there will be 2. Yeah, so, and then minute, second. Okay, so this is the entire code to display the time. Okay, so that's kind of put the code on the timer. Okay, what I will do is here, right? So it's actually already attached to the timer, right? And I set the time value 60, right? And the time text, pretty much all you need to do is to put this to here, right? And time is running, yes. Target, that's put the target. You can put this or test, it's pretty much the same. Okay, so all you need to do is to put the target, right? Target here, you can put the text one or the real one on the demo. Okay, so in order to trigger the entire game, I have to start from the start. so you can see the entire experience.
Okay, so when I hit start, you see it countdowns from 1 minute just because we have, disappearing the time when we click and the first screen disappear, and it costs probably around 1 second. So every time when I see it, it start with 59, but it's already pretty accurate. Okay, so let's play the game. Right, left, up and down, right? Yay, you win. Okay, then it's the score played. Okay, so this is today's tutorial. If you are interested in learning how to set up stuff, feel free to let me know at the end of our meetup. Okay, so thank you, and this is Q&A session. Feel free to ask me any questions you have, and thank you, and I will talk to you pretty soon. Bye bye.